It's just not easy. Okay. But it's really simple. Write this down. Here are the two ways you get out scripted when you make an expired call. I'm going to give you this right now. This is how you get it. You get out scripted by the seller. One, you do not have your scripts up in front of you so that you can see them. That's the first thing. That's the first mistake we make. We don't want to read the script because we don't sound like we're reading. Well, guess what? You don't sound like you're reading. That's just a story you're telling yourself. Two, because you don't know your scripts and you don't have them in front of you, you pause when they give you the objection. Somebody tell me what happens when someone gives you an objection and expires and you pause before you answer or deal with the objection. What happens in that blank space? Somebody tell me what happens. They hang up too, right? They hang up. Right? They hang up. So when a telemarketer calls you and you say, you know what? I really don't want to talk to you right now. If they don't engage you immediately, you use that white space to hang up. If you cannot do those two things, your chances increase about 300%. All right. So what I'm going to do is the scripts that I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to share them with you right now because I want you to look at them afterwards. When you put them on a poster board in front of you, and you practice them, your eye will start going to the objection. So all you have to do is read it off. I promise you, it's so easy. Just read it. All right. So I'm going to show you now what I use. And if you think I'm like really excited about it, I am really excited about it. You know why? Because every real estate agent could master this and be unstoppable, but less than 1% do because they get in their own head. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. All right, here we go. Okay, I didn't change this. I probably should have, but these are my scripts anyway. So it's not, this is not proprietary information. These are my scripts that I wrote and I've used forever. Okay, so we're going to come down here and here's what you're going to do. When they answer the phone, you're going to say to them, hi, and use one of these scripts. I use the second one and I say, hi, this is Becky Colburn with eXp Realty. And I noticed that your listing at 123 Pepperwood Court is no longer active. I wanted to see if you are going to take this opportunity to interview a different agent for the job of selling your home. If so, I'm calling to apply. Okay, now the drunk monkeys have started. I see it. I see it starting where everybody's like, oh, you know, they're going to say all these different things. They're going to give you an objection. I'm going to show you how easy this is. They're going to give you an objection. Somebody tell me what the first objection is going to be. Take yourself off mute. Give me an objection.
Not selling anymore.
Same agent.
Okay. Noel, you said I'm not selling anymore. Who said same agent?
Me, Brianna.
Brianna. Okay. We're staying with the same agent. So then what you do is you go right here to your, if you have these all printed out on a poster board, your eye is going to go to here. We're staying with the same agent. All right, Brianna, role play this with me. You ready?
Oh.
Tell me we're staying with the same agent. No, I don't. We're not going to do it. We're staying with the same agent.
I'm the owner, right? I'm the homeowner.
Yep.
Okay.
You're the owner.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with the same agent.
I understand. So just out of curiosity, what do you think your agent will do differently this time around to get it sold? That's exactly why. And see, I didn't let her keep, she's thinking about it. I paused to give her a chance to think about it. And then I say, you know what? That's exactly why we need to meet. You do want to sell this time around, right, Brianna?
Yeah, but she's a family friend and I just, you know, I don't want to do that to my friend.
You know what? I understand. And my experience is that our homes, in many cases, are our largest asset. Would you agree that it's your largest asset?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, well, you obviously don't owe that agent anything. I know they're your friend, but you don't owe them anything because it's your asset. And you certainly don't owe me anything. And yet you owe yourself and your family the opportunity to get the most money out of this property. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. Well, and then here's where I'm going to go off script. I understand that this person's your friend, but let's meet. I can show you what I can do to get some homes sold, and then you can make a choice about the road you want to go down. How does today at 4 o'clock or tomorrow at 6 work for you?
Tomorrow at 6, perfect.
Okay. Usually at that point, they're going to give me another objection, right? What's the next objection they might give me? Somebody speak up. Tell me. Let's interact. Come on.
I'm not moving anymore.
I'm not moving anymore. Well, let's stay on this vein. Let's say that the person says, you know, I don't want to do that to my friend. And I've handled the objection about giving them a choice. What's the next thing they might say if they don't say, come over for the appointment?
So
How much commission do you charge?
Say again, Jeremy?
I'm not looking to sell at this time. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. But see, the point is there's not really anything else they can object to other than no. That's where I'm going with this. You've made them think about the fact is they really just they don't owe anybody anything. It's their investment and they owe themselves the best. How can they disagree with that? Secondly, you're offering them a choice. You say, you know what? Let's meet and let me show you what I can do to help you sell your home. And then you make the choice of what direction you want to go. You make the choice. Now, the next thing they might say is, well, I need to talk to my partner. I need to talk to my partner. Who's heard that? I can't set an appointment until I talk to my partner. Right? Okay. All right. I love that one. I need to talk to my partner. So for that one, and I have that down here, when I send these to you, you'll get that. I need to talk to my partner. Here's a perfect objection handler for that. You say, you know what? I understand. I wouldn't make a move without my partner either. I'm just curious, what objections do you think your partner might have to meeting with me? That can be used for anybody that you're trying to close on an appointment. What objections do you think your partner would have to meeting with me? So role play this with me, Jeremy. What objections do you think your partner might have to meeting with me?
Where would we move next, or where would we move from here?
You know what? That is such a common objection. I hear that all the time, Jeremy. And you know what? I'm going to show both of you when we meet exactly what I do to help you sell this home and make one move into your next home. Would that be a beneficial conversation for you and your partner?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So why don't we do this? Since we've established that would be a great conversation for you and your partner, let's go ahead and pencil something in. And then you can check with them that time. Whoop, I'm getting feedback. You can check with them and see if that time works. And we'll confirm and go from there. How's that work for you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, so in the meantime, Jeremy, I'm not stopped. I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to future pace this cancellation because that's what's going to happen, right? He's going to get off the phone. He's going to talk to his partner and his partner's going to say, this is crazy. I don't want to meet, blah, 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 right? So now I'm going to future pace it. And I'm going to say, you know what, Jeremy, here's what I find. A lot of times when I set these appointments up, when you go to talk to your partner, you may cancel because your partner decides that they just don't want to meet because they didn't talk to me, right? Only you did. Right? What I'd like to encourage is that you at least show up for the appointment and let me show you. Because the more information I give you, the more knowledgeable your partner could be. Can we make that agreement that you'll keep the appointment even if your partner doesn't want to show up?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay, great. Well, guess what? I'm going to have an appointment because he's given me his word that he's going to show up. So even when he wants to cancel, he's going to feel somewhat obligated not to. All right. You can use that strategy, not just with expireds, but with anyone that you are hoping to get to an appointment. Because what that is that's a way of them getting out of it. So you can move forward with that appointment and get a commitment from them that they will show up for it. All right. What are your questions so far? Either put them in the chat box or shout them out. This is an interactive conversation. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what I call it the drunk monkey here is going, I don't know about that. I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Do you call the actual, like when you pull up the listing, if it has the owner's number, do you call the number or do you call the you obviously you don't call the agent, right?
Yeah. So let's go back and let's talk about how you do that. Jeremy, this is a great point. And I don't know where you guys all are in different areas. So, if you have questions specific to your situation, just put it in the chat box or ask it. If I don't get to it now, maybe Rob can send me your questions and I'll email you directly. How about that? Okay. All right. So don't hold off on putting questions in. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. So when I go in to pull first of all, you can buy the information, right? You guys can go through Vulcan. I don't know if you've ever heard Vulcan. It's kind of expensive, VULCAN, and it will pull all the numbers for all the expireds and FSBOs and all of that. There's also a company called Landvoice. There's also a company called Redx. Redx. You can call Redx, right? And there's several others out there, but those are the three that I know. In my experience, Vulcan is the most expensive, but it has the best data. It just does. Or you can do what I do. I go to truepeoplesearch.com. Truepeoplesearch.com. Currently, I don't know how long it'll last. It is free. And as long as you have the name, the address, or the phone number, or the name or the address, you're going to get the phone number. The cool thing it'll do is it not only will it give you the phone number, it'll give you their cell phone, and it will tell you the most up-to-date information on that number. So for example, this morning, I got 2 numbers off of this one gentleman. The one number said, not used since 2013. So I knew that wasn't the most recent one. And then the other one gave me the 2023 data saying that it was in use. So that's the one I called. Most of them are cell phones, by the way. So if they don't answer your call, you can do what? You can shoot them a text, but I wouldn't text them first. I'm going to get into that. So you can do it manually. Now, the challenge with manually is it just takes time, right? Whereas if you get these numbers automatically to you, it won't take as much time. My recommendation is before you go spend money on that information, hold yourself accountable to doing it manually for 2 to 3 weeks. And then once you see how easy it is, and I mean it's easy, then you can invest in the other tools. Okay, does that help you, Jeremy?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks.
I do want to give I just want to be legally compliant, the do not call registries out there. So you want to make sure that you're careful with that. Diane, go ahead. You got your hand up.
That's been one of my problems because I've been doing the Breakfast Club for a few months, but I have not made calls. I get a list from my title company and it has FSBOs and expireds, but it's
Mhm.
on like a spreadsheet. Like I can't even figure out, like once I start scooting over, I'm like, oh, wait, what line was I on? And it's like, and I'd say probably 90% are on the do not call list. So for me, I just want to know where I can get the people to call.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So if you have people that are on the do not call registry and you don't want to call them because they're on the do not call registry, here is an alternative. It is not free, but it is an alternative that you can use, and it does work for me personally. Okay. I have a template of a postcard set up. And that template is just it, and I'll share the template with you. I'll share it with Rob, and Rob can share it with you guys. Okay. So I'll give you all my stuff. And that template is just about listing their expired home. Now, here's where it's a teeny bit of a bait and switch, but it works. The postcard says that I will list your home for sale for 2%. Okay, I'll list your home for sale for 2%. Call me. Now, when I get there for the listing appointment, I'm going to list the home for 2%, and you get to choose how much you want to pay the buyer's agent, right? They gotta give the buyer's agent money, right? So I'll list the home for 2%, and you get to choose how much you pay the buyer's agent. Now you might be saying to yourself, I don't want to take a listing for 2%, but this is a whole nother class, I teach my clients that for every listing you get, if you properly market it using a process that I teach them, you will get within 6 months, 1 more listing and 2 more buyers. And those you'll get at a better commission. Remember, write this down. An expired listing is a gateway to 3 more pieces of full price business. So I have agents come to me and they'll say, oh my gosh, I went on this appointment, but they want me to list it for 2%. And I say, okay, well, how many listings have you had in the last 6 months? I've had 3. Okay. Take the listing and properly market it and get 3 more pieces of full price business. When you think about calling expireds, here's the thing. Think about it this way. 1 listing every single month, that's 12 listings a year. If you just got 1 more piece of business for every one of those listings, you'd have 24 transactions in a year. How many of you would that put you close to iconing? 1 listing. If you did nothing every day but call for sale by owners and expireds, could you get 1 listing? Raise your hand if you have confidence that if you just did that, you could get 1 listing. Raise your hand. Okay. And from that 1 listing, could you properly market to get another buyer or another listing? Raise your hand, because you could. That's 24 deals a year. That's all you got to do. We make this business way too complicated because we run from the direct conversation. It's an easy business. It's 2 hours of lead gen a day, period. Then go to the beach, whatever. Okay. So you just have to start. That's all there is to it. All right. So we've got that. So if you do not have the numbers automatically come in, the night before, go into MLS and choose 20 to 25 homes that you're going to call. Maybe they are expireds from a year ago. Maybe they're expireds from 6 months ago. Maybe they're new expireds. Maybe they were expireds in 2019 and they never went back on the market during the pandemic. Some of the ones I called this week were from 2018 and they never sold during the pandemic. They didn't even put them on, they didn't put them back on the market. Now, could some of them have sold privately? Sure, but I don't know that. So go back, just find 25, and spend 30 minutes every day this week calling 4 or 5 of those a day. How many of you have ever called 25 expireds in 1 week? Raise your hand. Okay, Eric has, Dave, Victoria, Rob, but most of us haven't. So if you just started there, then the next week, call 25 more. And then the next week, call 25 more. And then the next week, go back to the ones that didn't answer and call them again. Right? Okay, so we have that. So the night before, your first step to getting 10 listings in 90 days is to get your list together the night before, all the numbers, everything that you need. Okay. The next step is the next morning you get up and you start calling no later than 8:15 a.m. No later than 8:15 a.m. My 27 years of experience, if you call after 9:30 in the morning, you're already too late. Depending upon what kind of market you're in, call earlier than 8:15. If you're in a city where people have to get up early to drive to work, I'm in Naples. These people are not getting up before 8 o'clock. So we're, but when I was in Vermont and when I was selling in New England, I was on the phone calling at about 7:45, 7:45 in the morning is when I started my expired calls. Okay. People are more likely to answer the phone that early. So step number 1 is pull your list the night before. Step number 2 is to start calling by 7:45, no later than 8:15, depending upon your market. Step number 3 is if you haven't called expireds or FSBOs before, call 4 to 5 a day, every day. Just start building a habit, start building a muscle. Now, before you call those, I want you to take these scripts that I'm going to send you. Let me share again and show you these scripts. I want you to take them and print them out. You'll print them on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. This is the key to your success. It really is. You put them up on your wall or a poster board. And when you're lead generating, I want you to be standing. So you stand up when you're lead generating, it gets your energy going. And make your calls and understand that you're probably going to only get 3 or 4 of these objections over and over. One is, write them down. One is, I've decided not to sell. I've decided not to sell. That's the first one. Second is, I'm staying with the same agent. I already have a listing agent. I'm staying with the same agent. That's the number 2. Depending on the market that you're in, I'm in a very rental heavy market. Third is we're going to rent it out. We've decided to rent it out. Okay. Fourth is I already found another agent. I already have a new agent. So there's 2 different objection handlers for I'm changing agents or I'm staying with the same agent. The number one that you're going to get, guys, is the number 1 and 2, I've decided not to sell, or I'm staying with the same agent. Those are the two that you're going to get over and over. And then of course you'll get it, I'm selling it myself, but you don't get that as much as you would think. But those are the two that you get over and over. So when you put all of those scripts up, I need to share my screen again. Let me figure out. Oh, I do have it shared. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's already shared, Becky.
Yep, so it's shared. Okay. When you put these scripts up, put the top 3 or 4 objection handlers that I gave you right in your line of sight. You're going to train your your muscle memory to go to them. So let's say, for example, you call them up and you say, hey, this is Becky Colburn. I'm with eXp Realty. I noticed that your listing on 123 Main Street's no longer active. And I wanted to see if you're going to take this opportunity to interview a different agent for the job of selling your home. If so, I really want to apply for that job. And that throws them off right there, because if they've gotten any calls, the agent has said, hey, this is Becky with eXp Realty. Your home's expired. Are you still selling it? No, click. So this is already going to throw them, the seller, off of their own script. So if so, I'm calling to apply. When are you going to be ready to put your home back on the market? And they're going to stay, I'm staying with the same agent. Brianna and I just role played that. Or they're going to say, we're going to take it off the market. And this is a gold script. So here it is. We're going to take it off the market. We've decided not to sell. It's just not the right time. Okay, sure, I understand. I noticed you went off the market at 500,000. So know what they went off the market at. If I were to bring you a full price offer tomorrow of 500,000, would you consider it? Would you consider selling? And they're going to say a lot of things. They're going to say yes. They're going to say maybe. They're going to say, well, do you have a buyer? They're going to give you a lot of different answers. If they tell you anything other than no, you don't answer what they tell you. You just say, great. So there still is a desire to sell, just not right now. That makes sense. And that's why we need to meet. You know, I specialize in homes that didn't sell the first time around. I can show you what I do to sell homes. And then when you're ready to sell, you have a top agent in mind to help you. And then they'll say, well, I don't want to waste your time. They're not going to give you the appointment. They're going to say, well, I don't want to waste your time. And that's when you say, and it's on here somewhere, you'll say, you know what? It's not a waste of my time, because my job is building relationships. And even if you choose not to use me to sell your home, if I have a great conversation with you, I bet you know other people that are looking to sell that you can refer me to. So it's never a waste of my time. So will today at 4 o'clock or tomorrow at 6 work for you? And they're still not going to give you the appointment. They're still not going to give you the appointment. They're going to give you a third objection. And I don't know what that objection will be. Sometimes it's, well, what's your commission? Because my agent did it for 2%. Or some kind of objection that they're going to give you, but it's going to be one that's on this page. It's not going to be anything oddball. Well, I need to talk to my partner about it, or my spouse, or whatever. Or call, well, can you just send over the information and let me look at it? Who's heard that? Can you just, okay, that objection handler is on here as well. It's, can you send me the information and I'll just look at it? Sure, I could definitely do that. However, how will you know that I might be the right agent for you if you haven't looked me in the eye and seen that what I'm showing you is the absolute truth of what I can do? Because I don't know about you, I don't trust anybody who sends me information. I want to look them in the face. And they're like, they chuckle, they laugh. And they say, well, I guess you're right. Okay. So these scripts are all on here. You put them up and then you just read them off. And then finally, after the third or fourth objection, they'll give you the appointment. Usually they'll give you the appointment. If they don't, after the third objection handler, here's the question that you ask. You know what, Jeremy? There are typically 3 reasons a home doesn't sell. So write this down. You can use this with anybody. There are typically 3 reasons a home doesn't sell. One is the price of the home, the condition of the home, and the marketing of the home. Which one of those three items was it for you? Sorry, I said that wrong. Sorry. If you had to choose one of those 3 reasons, which one would you choose? And if they say, oh, well, if they say anything other than those 3, push them back to those 3 and say, okay, I totally get it. But if you had to choose one of those 3, what would it be? If they say price, you know how to handle that. If they say condition of the home, great. Why don't I come over and see it? Because one of the things I do to sell homes that didn't sell the first time around was help you understand what you need to do to your house for the lowest amount of money to get the biggest return. Or if they say marketing, what they're saying is their agent. Okay. And then you say, okay, well, tell me more about that. What would you have liked to seen in the marketing that you didn't see? Tell me more. And they're going to say, well, we wanted to see this. 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 It doesn't matter. Write it down. But then you say, great. And you go back right here. That's exactly why we should meet, so that I can show you what I do to market a home to get it sold that the other agent didn't know how to do. So if you knew that you could master these scripts, and by mastering these scripts, actually don't even need to master them, you just need to master reading them. If you knew you could master these scripts and read these scripts off, and you could make intentional calls for 30 to 45 minutes every single week, every day, every single week, and you could get 1 listing out of that, which means you would work about an hour and 15 minutes a day. Would you be willing to do that to get 1 listing? And with that 1 listing, it's going to give you 3 more pieces of business. Yes. And then we go say, yeah, but I want to get my business from social media. And I want to send out postcards, and I'm not making fun. I'm just saying that's the easier way, and it doesn't get you the business. Just work for an hour a day and get the business. This is how a part-time agent kills it. They know they can get up. They steadily do this for an hour. They get 1 appointment a week. That's 4 appointments a month. It turns into 1 listing, and then they market it correctly, and it gives them 3 more pieces of business. It is that easy. You guys believe me? Say yes or yes. Raise your hand. Okay. What's not easy is the 6 inches between your ears. It's the 6 inches between your ears that stops you from making the phone call. All right. And so you have to ask yourself this question. You have to say, who am I giving up on? Who am I disappointing by not doing it? Who am I giving up on? You know, my granddaughters, they are getting ready to start school, and the public school, we just don't want them going there. I mean, that's just period, whatever. And so they need to go into private school. And the last thing I want my grandkids coming to do is to come and say, Grandma, you know, here's what we learned in public school, which is probably not what I want them to learn. And then and then I'll say, and they'll be going off and they'll doing all these crazy things, right? And it's just because I didn't want to make a phone call to get them into private school and pay for it.